Hey guys, it's Will here from Potato Strong. It's about mid-October right now, and I wanted to just tell you guys that you could still grow things in the fall. Like, I'm in Canada, leaves are falling, changing color. But a month ago I planted some things in containers, so if you don't have a yard, you can still do things in the house in containers, like herbs and lettuce, stuff like that. And if you have if you have outside, like a deck, you could have containers. You could cover them with a little cold frame or because the key thing is getting enough light. So I'm going to show you some things that are growing right now. It's October 17, just to show you that things are growing and some things are finishing up. But I'll just show you everything and hopefully inspire you to maybe grow some things yourself in the fall, or even in a windowsill or things like that, when as long as you have some light. So let's check some of this stuff out. So here I've got radishes. I've actually pulled a fair amount, but they take 3 to 4 weeks. It's a good fall crop. This is beet green, so I've got beets here, and I've left the beets in the ground. They're quite big, you can see here. But I use the greens, and I'm probably going to dig them up soon. But basically the radishes were planted in September. Here we still have dinosaur kale. This one got really tall. There was some caterpillars in that eating some of it, but it keeps growing, and then you get some stuff in the middle, new ones coming up. This was finished. This was green peppers, and you can see here radishes that I put in between. Here's a batch of green onions that are coming up. So hopefully, because this is easy stuff, anything like thin lettuce, spinach, kale, that's not like a major fruiting vegetable. So I just eat the tops. You don't have to worry about the onion, the base. You're just gonna cut the tops off. And here we have a whole bunch of curly kale. You can see this is new. So curly kale. And then I put some radishes in between. And then this is a couple of kale, dinosaur, lacinato kale, black Tuscan. There's lots of different names for it. So kale's good, curly kale, green onions potentially. You've got some peas that are coming up here. I already did a batch, but this is another batch of the sugar snap peas. And radishes come up in 3 to 4 weeks. And I'll show you some other things in the containers. So cherry tomatoes and jalapenos are pretty much finishing up for the fall. It's still October. There's still all sorts of jalapenos on here, you can see. But the main things I wanted to show you were the spinach. So these are just containers. This is kind of a little bit too closely spaced, but you just keep cutting that. And here you can see I spaced them out further. But I got a whole bunch of containers. This is romaine lettuce. I don't know how big that's going to get, but and this is chives. So these are coming along. You could have these inside your house or in a container as well. And then we have some cilantro. And so herbs are easy: chives, cilantro, oregano, stuff like that, basil. I also put a little bit of spinach in there. It's not doing too good. That's where the potatoes were. And that's zucchini finishing up. I don't think it's going to do much more, but I just picked one the other day. So we're still getting lots of sun here, as you can see. But yeah. So I encourage you guys to grow some things in containers in the fall. Don't give up yet. It can get kind of depressing, especially up in Canada and stuff like that when the winter comes. But I'm hoping that I can still harvest things right up till December. You can have them in a little greenhouse. This is just a greenhouse, and potentially I've got these other little cold frames. I might cover them as well, just to give it some extra insulation. And but there's still light. There's still enough light for these things to grow. And as long as you can, you get some fall cold tolerant crops, you should be good to go. And you can have some things in your house as well. So don't give up on the fall yet, and hopefully that'll just shorten the winter season, so you can start up in the spring again, early in the spring. Another thing with the spinach I wanted to mention is you can grow spinach for a few weeks before it gets too cold, and then just cover it like with a mulch, and it'll come up early in the spring. So there's a book called The Year-Round Vegetable Gardener, which is a lady in Nova Scotia wrote that, and gives you lots of tips on extending the season and having stuff come up really early. Like if you plant garlic now, it'll come up really early in the spring. So it gives you that new growth that can kind of get you excited for the new growing season next year. But I wanted to have things growing as long as I can, and stuff will still grow, so you don't have to give up after the summer's over. Hope you guys like that. Talk to you later.